Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlike. Brad and I are continuing our top 100 games of all time. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a beanie inside, it's because I'm a tool. No, it's because my fucking heat went out, and it is currently,
It was a -1 wind chill this morning. Or not
yeah.
-1. It was a 1
So,
degree wind chill.
so that's what I'm dealing with. Um, yeah. Well, besides all of that, besides real life and all that shit, let's talk about some board games.
I had to turn a fan a
Um,
fan on in this room. It's pretty warm.
it's so hot in Yeah, it's like first world problems. Like, man, I ran out of space for all my food in my fridge. Yeah, it's not great. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and talk about some games. We are in the top 50 now, which
Yep.
is pretty cool. This segment though is a doozy because I have two new ones and all the rest fell.
Well, mine's nice and universal. Or mine is 3 fell, 3 rose, and 4 new ones.
Four new ones. All right. So yours should be a little more interesting than mine. Without further ado, Brad, kick us off.
All right. My number 50 was a game that it fell 12 spots. It was oh wait, no, not 12, not fell 12 spots. It was number 12 last year.
Oh,
It fell 38 spots.
gotcha.
And the only reason it did is because I finished the campaign and the
Oh,
expansion, and I'm waiting for new stuff to come out. Well, the new stuff just came out, but I haven't played it yet, and but I don't know how much it's going to add. I want another really big adventure out of this system, and that's Fate Forge.
yeah. I'm like, I knew
Um,
exactly
yeah.
what game you were talking about.
Um, so I really haven't played it, because I, went through that stuff. I have the new expansion I've yet to try, which will get it to the table.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of hoping they come out with a whole nother grand adventure. Since it's a pretty well-renowned game and stuff, I'd kind of like them to put out a
Well,
really big thing.
it's based off of a known IP, like a TTRPG.
Right.
So, I mean, there's no shortage of content. It's not like they have to go and make up their own unless this is like their own unique story and they're just using the world, which would be cool. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that was a Kin of the Wild or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's the new one. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to add that much because the Clash of the Immortals expansion didn't really add all that much, like a mini one shot almost.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
I think that's what this one does too. I'm just kind of like, that's fine. You're putting out more stuff, but you need to put out like a lot of content, like really get people to the table again, because
yeah,
they're kind of doing that weird thing, actually. It's not the same kind of game, obviously, but like role player adventures, they're kind of putting out like little tidbits of expansion to a campaign
right.
game that doesn't really whet the appetite or,
Yeah,
quench the
and all that
quench the
stuff.
thirst.
Yeah, all that stuff needs to kind of come out with a big box. Like, hey, here's a
Hmm.
big box and here's another small. Like, if Call of the Kin of the Wild came out with a big box, you know, I'd be like, cool. And if it was like a separate story and Kin of the Wild tied into that separate,
Right.
standalone box, I'd be fine with that. But yeah, I agree with you. Doing extra chapters doesn't really do it
It's
a
like they're
whole lot.
adding it's like they're adding the animals in, like, they're adding mechanics in these little expansions that maybe when they put out another big box, those mechanics will all go that way. Everybody
Maybe.
will already know the mechanics, maybe. I don't know, but anyway, this game, we've talked about it on several different lists and stuff, but to me, this was such a smooth campaign to play.
Yeah.
Um, the system is so smooth, even with it being the luck of the dice. There was enough ways to mitigate it, enough ways to do other stuff. It wasn't a punishing game necessarily. It was very logic based. It was kind of like a puzzle because you only had,
Yeah.
like, most of the adventures are like you have 4 rounds to get to do whatever. Um, and you're pushing your way through, but then you don't have to worry about exiting necessarily, because when those 4 rounds are over, whether you beat it or not, you have to exit. And if there's any enemies you run through as you exit, you have to take a damage for those and hope you have enough health to survive.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess the replay value of this for me, I guess I could play the other heroes, because I used
You can
the,
play the other heroes, you can make
yeah,
different decisions. And it's short enough that you could replay it without having to waste,
right.
4 years or something to get through it.
Yeah.
That's one of its pros is the fact that it is bite-sized
Yeah,
of a satisfying campaign.
because my combination of characters worked really well. I was like the shield maiden, kind of like the warrior, and then I had the ranger.
The
You know,
Ranger,
so those
nice.
two together really worked well because I had a ranged and the up
Yeah.
close and personal. But yeah, this one I'm I just want more. Like the
Hmm.
system. I love this system. The system is so smooth. And it's not difficult. Like I haven't played it in a long time, but when I go down to set for that expansion, minus the new mechanics, I'm not going to have to really relearn a whole lot. You just sit down and it's very easy to remember how to play
Yeah.
it too. But yeah, I mean that's the only reason it fell so far. Because like I went last year at this point when I was number 12, I was like towards the end of the campaign and I was all jazzed on it and all that stuff, and I still like it a lot, but just haven't got a chance to really play it a whole lot.
Nice. Good choice. My number 50 was 25 last year, so it actually fell 25 spaces and it was new. And it only fell because it hasn't gotten to the table as much as I would actually really like. This game is one that you kind of want to put a lot of effort, like time and effort into it and almost play with the same kind of people or person in this case, and that is Pagan, Fate of Roanoke.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So I absolutely love this game. I think it is one of the best two-player, deduction style games. Because it's asymmetric on both sides. And one side is playing a witch, the other side is playing the witch hunter, and both have different avenues of succeeding in what they're trying to do. The witch is trying to cast her ritual and make sure she's not found. And the witch hunter is trying to figure out who out of the nine people the witch is. And they both have unique ways to actually, like, the witch has a lot of ways to deceive and hide herself, and the witch hunter has a lot of ways to eventually learn solid information. Um, and this game actually originally had me concerned because the witch hunter has to kill the witch. And it's entirely possible for him to just kill off a townsperson. And
Hmm.
it's like, oh, if he just guesses correctly, then he can just win. And that's what I thought. I was like, okay, so it's just RNG. You just can be like, oh, I'm just gonna kill that one and hope it works. The way you go about actually, you know, executing or whatever a witch, there's a lot of steps to actually get that done. Uh, so it's not a quick and simple thing to do. This game has, quite a lot of expansions. They are coming
Hmm.
over from with CG
Yep.
Capstone Games, but I believe so. I originally had the Capstone version, but then someone was selling their Kickstarter version that was done by Wormgold. And I'm like, is there any difference? And they were like, I don't think so. I think Capstone is just bringing it over. I'm like, cool. So I bought their copy. And yeah, these are all different expansions that, just add more cards because the game can be deck constructed, which is really neat. Adds scenarios, adds different types of families that are in the family that is in the groups, like the different colored groups, because they have different abilities and you will activate them to use their abilities. It just has a lot going for it. I love this element of deduction and the two-player asymmetry. Um, so yeah, if you're looking for a great two-player game, I also really like the art and the theme. That art kind of gives me that Darkest Dungeon vibe, which is
Hmm.
really cool. But I want to dive into this more. Like, I want this could be
Yes.
like a staple game where it's like you're actually deck crafting and trying to go a certain path. And I want to check out the expansion. So, Brad, we got to get this played more.
Yes, exactly. Hey, I was going to say one thing about this is if
So,
you're going out to buy this game, uh, I would highly suggest trying to find the playmat as well. There's two different playmats out there.
oh yeah,
But that just adds more ambiance to it and it gives you a nice organization and stuff like that for everything.
yeah.
It's nice.
It is very nice. Yeah, it keeps all your cards because these are like the rituals that I think they're called rituals.
I think so.
Well, that's in German, so I don't know. You think I would. Gefasst der Gewissheit.
Well, it says
Yep.
ritual over there on the left one, left box. It's actually spelled out rituals.
Ritual.
So,
Yep. No,
so
you'd think that, but it's in German. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I think the rituals go here. Um, then there's like familiars that the witch can get that
mhm.
make her workers like unique or one of her workers unique. Then the witch hunter has like alliances that he can have and locations he can go to. It's just really, really cool
Yeah,
for a two-player game. Um, so yeah, that is my number 50, Pagan Fate of Roanoke.
good
I felt
choice.
like I said that weird.
All right, good choice. All right, my number 49 fell 32 spots. It was 17 last year. Again, not playing it a whole lot. I still love this game though. It was a perennial top 10 for me over the years. It went to 16 2 years ago, was 17 last year, and this is its big fall because I haven't played it in probably a couple years, and that's Five Tribes. Um, this one, I still love this game. I just couldn't justify having it super high just because I haven't touched it for a little
Hmm.
while. But this one, it was one of the uh, like earlier Euro games I kind of messed with that use that Mancala aspect. I had never really played a game using that before. Um, but pretty much, if you're just playing base, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to have your um, all the tiles laid out all over the board in a grid, and then all these meat. There's going to be, I think they start with like three meeples per deal at the beginning of the game, randomly put out there. And then you're just going to choose a tile that has meeples on it. You're going to pick them all up, and then you're going to make a path, dropping one off. And then where you stop at, you gather all of that color. So if you have a red left in your hands, you get if there's any reds on that tile, you grab all the reds, and then you get to do the reds. You could do the reds action depending on if you want to, which red happens to be assassinate. So you're like taking out other deals. If you ever clear a tile, then you put a camel on it. Um, and there's like abilities like the assassin is an interesting one because if there's only one meeple on a tile and you use the assassin to kill that and empties it, you get to put another camel out on that.
Mm.
So it's like there's all these different ways you can do stuff. Blues deal with money, um, or yeah, blues deal with how many the all the no, never mind. Blues you get money for all the blue numbered tiles around you. Yellows are the money, and then the greens were the ones that let you get the items and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But
And
anyways,
white was the Jin.
yeah,
Is
those
that
are the
right?
ones you,
Yep.
you need to have those to be able to get the gen cards, which are powerful in different aspects.
Hmm.
The expansions added some really cool stuff because there was one that added like a wall, like mountains that you couldn't go through when you were dropping off, and there was like a pit you couldn't go through and stuff like that. So it added a little bit more decision making and stuff to your dropping off. Then there was another expansion that added some stuff that actually added something where you can nullify some gen powers because there are some gen powers that are pretty powerful if they come out. Um, I will say that if you are not a fan of analysis paralysis, don't play this because there's zero chance of you. What in the hell are they
I
doing?
don't know. I was like, is this a
That
mod? Like, is this a variant you
it's like
play?
three D five tribes. But
What do they
anyway,
do in Five Tribes Legacy?
I don't know. We'll
That
see.
would be cool,
May,
actually.
maybe Awaken Realms will do a five tribes fancy version.
That'd be so dumb.
I know, but
It's
anyway,
like $400 because all of there's miniatures now.
yeah, that'd suck. Anyway, anyway, so you can never plan for your turn. You can have a couple of ideas by looking at the board, but if you're playing a four-player game, that's most likely before it gets back to your turn, somebody's going to go through your path and is going to either drop something off or pick something up. And so there's a lot of sitting and thinking at this game. So
Yep.
that's why I like it. I like playing it with, there's a two-player variant, which lets you have the extra, you get like two turns on each deal. Um, but three players generally the best, I think. Um, And then
Well, the community says best at two.
well, I mean,
So,
and that's fine because you just get two turns. Like you because that's why the pink and the blue have two pawns when you're doing your
oh, okay.
because like you you have to you auction off your turn order in this game with money, but
Yeah,
the money is equal to the victory points. So like you're spending ultimately you're spending victory points to get your spot in line for turn order. And in a two and three play or two player game, you have two pawns, so you have to you wait, auction twice as you put those out there. You could go two turns in a row. You could do whatever. But so it's fine that way. I just prefer it with three, just because it's a little different thinking. You have three people's minds going and doing different stuff.
gotcha.
But yeah, I mean that's I don't know where this will fall. If I play it again, it'll probably go back up some, but we shall see.
Yeah, good deal. All right. My number 49 is similar to your 50 in the sense that it is a campaign game. It was 10 last year and 3 the year before. So it fell quite a ways, 39 spots. But still smack dab in the middle. Currently, my version is being painted, so I don't even have a way to play it again, even though I really want to. And that is Oathsworn.
I was gonna say Aeon Trespass Odyssey.
Is Aeon Trespass Odyssey. It just shot way down. No, actually, my Cycle 3 stuff is being painted because Devin painted it
Oh, that's cool.
for me, and he killed it. But Oathsworn, the girl that's painting my minis now, is also killing it. They look very, very good. Um, but yeah, Oathsworn is a boss battler, campaign style, narrative driven campaign style boss battler, where in each chapter it's broken up into two sections where you do a story phase that will lead into a mysterious boss that you have to fight. That's one of the best experiences in campaign gaming for us because that mystery boss is always very exciting to be like trying to figure out what it could be during the story and then, opening the box to get the reveal and be like, "Oh shit," and then you actually have to fight it.
Hmm.
Now on repeat, that obviously doesn't exist, so it becomes more of a great boss battler. But this game does a lot of really unique things. I like the dice element of the boss, of breaking sections of it. I love how the battle flow system for the players is such a cool cooldown element. I love the fluid liquidity of player turns during the game. And I love the fact that they let you choose whether you want to use dice or cards for your
Or
attacks.
both, or both.
Or both, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it just, I mean, it appeals to all types of players if you want to math it out a little bit more and risk it with cards or just have the luck and fun dice chucking part. So the story is phenomenal. The boss fights are amazing, and I cannot wait for them to announce another one, which, I mean, last I heard from what they told me, they will be making more content for it. They just gotta, design it.
Yeah.
Um,
The
but yeah,
the oh sorry. The other thing I like about this also is that it has such an easy jump in, jump out campaign. Like
yeah.
like if you don't have enough players to play, because you have to play with the four heroes.
Hmm.
So if you're playing solo, you could control two and then have two be the whatever they call them. I can't remember what they call them. They can be like
Yeah, the NPCs
yeah,
essentially.
yeah, but they play really. I mean, they're still not just dumb characters. Like they actually help still. They're and they play. They just you just do them a different way in an easier way, so it doesn't take up brain power for you.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a four-player campaign that meets every I don't know Saturday, and then Joe Schmo decides he doesn't want to come, it's like we'll keep the campaign going. We'll just make him one of these characters and
Yep.
just keep going. That's like a lot of times campaigns don't do that, and it's that's what makes this one kind of a neat little addition, I think, that they came up with.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what happened to us. It started out with three people, then one of the guys in the groups decided to be dumb and have a kid. Uh, so it's like, well, he's not available ever, so we just turned his character into an ally or whatever,
I think they're called
and
allies. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, and ran with that. And we started obviously with the three of us, so I controlled the ally, and every time they attacked, I just rolled dice. Like I didn't even
Hmm.
bother with the cards with them. It's like, all right, let's see what happens, and it was perfectly fun to do that. So they do a lot of really cool, unique things in this one. Absolutely love it. It just fell as far as it did because I finished the campaign and haven't replayed it. So that's just going to be what naturally happens whenever with campaign games, I think.
Yep.
That's my 49.
All right, good choice. All right, my number 48. This one somehow just keeps raising just a little bit every
Just
each year.
just a
It
little
was
bit.
50, it was 52 last year, but it's been as high as I think it well in 2020 it was 119, then it went 92, 82, 87, 52. So last year it made the big jump and now it's coming in. The game you haven't played, I don't think you would like it in the slightest, even if we did. And then that is a Resident Evil deck building game.
Oh,
Um,
probably not.
uh, this one, I mean, it doesn't have a horrible rating, I guess. I mean, it's not great, but it's not like it's tanked at 4 or 5. Um, so this one is, of course, if you're a Resident Evil fan, a lot of this is going to look familiar to you. They pull a lot of like screenshots from the game or art that was made for advertising the game or whatever, you know. I don't know if there's a whole lot of like art made just for this game. I think it's all taken from the IP one way or another. But this is just, you pick a character. In my case, I picked two. Um, and then you set up a grid that you buy from, um, which needs to have a certain number of guns, a certain number of ammo, other little items like, the herbs, red herb, green herb, all that stuff from the game. Then you set up an enemy deck. Usually and it has a boss in it, and you go through and you work your way through the mansion and you take them out. You have to spend ammo, so that's the thing with this is so like when you play an ammo card, you get the ammo. But then after it's out, you need to be able to play another ammo card to be able to refill your gun, or else you're gonna have to get another gun out there that you do have ammo for. Um, like I said, this is not a superior game at all. Like as far as like it's a typical deck builder. It's got the old trope where when you buy a card, it goes in your discard pile. It doesn't have anything unique with that. It's the same stuff. I just I've played the Resident Evil board games and I've played this, and the Resident Evil board games try too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like they're expensive versions that throw a bunch of minis out and they aren't that great. There was one
Yeah.
that I kind of liked. It was the original. Like it was the newest one, but it was based on the original Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think it's the one Mike Kelly talked about liking the best too. But
Oh, and the t campaign games.
yeah,
Yeah.
but um, but this is just an easier. I have everything for it. It's way out of print. This has been out of print for years. I think to complete my collection, because there's like 3 expansions and then the core box. I think the last expansion to complete it, I think I paid like $200 for like a 200 card expansion. It seems
Dear
like,
God.
but I have it all now. But and it's like, you know, it's it adds there's different ways to play it too. You can play a 1v1 version of this because one of the expansions added that and everything. Like I said, uh graphic design isn't great either. It's just one of those like I love Resident Evil. I love
Yeah.
everything Resident Evil, and this was the quickest, easiest way for me
Have
to
you
play it that
played
wasn't a video game.
have you played the remake? Like
Of
Resident Evil 2 and 4 remake?
I did the 4. I haven't played the 2 yet, but
Okay.
I played the 4 one. It was really cool.
It is really
Um,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I need to go back and do the second one. And I'm really excited for. Is it Requiem? Is that what it's called? The new one?
Yeah, 9 where it's split into two where you have
Hmm.
it's not Ashley, it's I can't think of her name. The
Shit.
girl is like the stealth
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
horror
yeah.
element, and then Leon is the action side. So very excited for 9. I'm glad they're going back to that because I didn't really like the Ethan like saga where it's 7 and 8.
I didn't like Village and and what was the other one? Village and
7, Resident Evil 7. I know is yeah, Village is 8, and
yeah, and
then
then there it was it wasn't Biohazard. It was
oh, maybe it was
maybe it was. I don't
Resident
know.
no, Evil 7. Yeah, Biohazard.
Okay. I didn't like that whole first person weird like scare trope deal.
Yeah.
I like my like to me Resident Evil 4 is the best one, but
Yeah.
I haven't played the remake of 2 and I think they're going through and slowly going to remake them all, so
Well,
I'm
they
gonna
did remake 3, but it wasn't good because it was short.
oh
So
okay.
they have remade 3. Um so yeah, but the Resident Evil 2 remake is awesome.
Yeah. I'll give it a shot. But anyway, I don't know. This one just hangs on my list because I still play it and it's a game that I enjoy.
It is a game.
Nah.
All right. My number, what is it, 48?
Yes.
My number 48 is my new one to the list. I don't think it's going to be on your list. I don't think you really liked it. Or maybe it's the other one. We played both of the games at once, and I can't remember which one if you liked one or you didn't like the other. Anyway, it's Galactic Cruise.
I liked this one better than SETI,
Then SETI.
but
Gotcha.
I own SETI and not this yet. I I'll pick this one up eventually.
That's funny.
But
Yeah. Galactic Cruise is awesome. Like this one, just I mean, we played this one and SETI on the same day. Um, and it like the hype for this one is definitely justified. I got a retail and was absolutely gobsmacked as to how high quality the retail version of this. I'm like, did that store just have a Kickstarter version that I bought? No, it was
I don't
retail
I
and
don't think
it
there's a difference. I think it was the
well
Kickstart.
they don't have two expansions
Right, that's the
in
only difference. Like the
yeah.
content in this game is the same in both of
Yeah,
them.
exactly. But the whole goal is you are trying to create ships and schedule and get passengers onto a galactic cruise. Like imagine if you went on the cruise on the ocean, but instead of being a dumbass, you went into space, which would for some reason I would do 100% of the time. If they were like, "Hey, I mean, we somehow got these shoddy ships that go into space. You can go on these cruises." I'd be like, I'm in. Yes.
Hmm.
It's like, what about this really well-established high-end cruise on the ocean? It's like, no, I want the rickety ass. I want what is it, the Ocean Gate? I want the Space Gate craft
Yeah.
to fucking go into space. And that's clearly going to implode as well. But yeah, this is such a cool theme, but the system that you actually, do all your actions is also really, really neat by placing your workers, I zoomed over way too much, onto these action spaces. But then if you have these discs down, you can connect over into the next action space to do more actions. Has worker bumping, which is cool because whenever you send, their workers back, they get like rewards, and over the course of the game, you can level up what you get back when you're worker. So it's like the worker bumping element, whenever it was done years ago, was always just kind of like, oh, the benefit that I'm giving them is they now have a worker to use instead of having to spend their whole turn recalling. Now, like with this game, it's like, oh man, if I bump their worker, they're gonna get like points and food and all this stuff. Like, is
Right.
that even worth it? Um, and then they have it to where you can change where these spots are, the overall text that you can get. There's a ton of those. This game has so much variety in it that even if it didn't have expansions, like you have a ton of game here. And for a big box Euro that this is, oh look, go show your wife. She'll have a meltdown. uh the for big box big box Euro game like this, it's really not that difficult, you would think. This game looks like it's a Lacerda game, but it doesn't necessarily play like one. Not that it's like the simplest Euro in the world, but it's very digestible. Between the two, because two massive space games came out in 2025, 2024-ish between SETI and Galactic Cruise, I feel like this one's way easier to
Yes.
understand and get into. Uh, we might talk about SETI later, so you'll know which one I prefer. But I mean, as time goes on, this game could be the one that hits the table more, just because it's less complex, less tight of resources. Where you're like, well, I'm already out of money. I played one card in SETI, and I guess I'm done. Uh, it just has a lot of really cool systems for it. So if you're skeptical on the hype, then I would say don't be, because this one's a very solid one. And I've not tried the expansions because, like I said, my copy didn't come with them, but I they went on Kickstarter again for the achievements expansion, and I was able to grab the other two. So very excited to give those a shot. So that's my number 48, Galactic Cruise.
All right, good choice. It won't be on my list just because I have only played it the one time with
Yeah,
you. So,
that's fair.
all right. So my number 47 was 57 last year. It jumped up. I played it really early in the year last year, and I'm actually surprised it jumped up 10 spots. I figured it would have stayed about the same. And that is Brass Birmingham.
Uh,
Um, this one may take a hit though, like, because from what I'm hearing about Brass Pittsburgh, um, this, you know,
this cover looks so cool.
yeah, I think from what I've been hearing about this one is I think it might really shove back Birmingham for me at least. I don't know about other people, but
No, because
but
people had their hissy fit and ranked this
yeah,
arbitrarily ranked this to be number one. They can't back out now.
this is not a number one game for sure. But I mean, but anyway, ever since I've kind of got back on my Euro kick, this got so much hype. That's what got me to try it.
Yeah.
Um, because the original was such a hideous looking box. Um, and the board was horrible. Components looked horrible. So they did a really good job of the refresh. But pretty much in this one, you are, it takes place over two kind of, I guess you'd say eras, I guess,
Hmm.
because there's like the canal era, and then there's the
Train era.
railway train era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so you are pretty much doing what you would expect in a game like this. You're trying to increase industry. You are going to win by victory points. So you're just trying to create the best, um, I guess, engine. Get it?
Ha!
But
Ha!
but so on your turn, you get two actions a turn. You can either um, pay resources to place another tile, an industry tile. You can add another link, whether it be train or canal, depending on where you're at, to expand your network of area. You can, um, I guess, increase the effectiveness of your industry. Yeah, the value of your industry, you can sell stuff even, like
Yep.
your manufactured goods, your whatever crap you make, pottery stuff. Or you can take a loan if you're really sucking it up, and you can take, I think it's like, was it 20 or 30 pounds, to reduce it, and reduce your income. What this added that was different from the original, because I played the original a long, long time ago and hated it. And those first five actions I talked about were the same in that game, but what they've added in this one was the scout action, um, which lets you discard three cards, and then you can take a wild uh,
Yeah.
location and industry card. Um, so with looking at that, I mean, I know the board's kind of darkish and stuff, but when you compare this to the other game, this one stands out so much, as far as being more into it. Yeah, if you just type in brass, like the original brass, I wonder if it comes up. Like, oh God, there's all kinds of shit there.
Right.
It,
Oops.
it, it was Martin Wallace's brass. It was like it was like a yellowish box, and it was god awful.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't even pull up anymore.
Yeah, I can't remember. It had a subtitle like brass something of industry maybe or something. I can't remember. But anyway, neither here nor there. It was beige. It was just beige everywhere. Beige, beige, beige. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I mean, I wish I had the iron clays. I keep looking for iron clays for that game every now and again. So I'll wait and see if it's something I find. But I don't have Lancashire. Some people prefer it over this and vice versa, but I really think Pittsburgh is gonna really handle all these. It probably won't make this because, like you said, people have made their judgment and they're going to stand by
Yeah.
their judgment. But I've been hearing from people that with early impressions of Pittsburgh that they already prefer it more than either of the other two. Um, so I'm excited for that one. But yeah,
Yeah. Obviously based on my ranking, I don't actually hate this game. I think it's good. But I'm not the biggest fan of having the resources that I've worked the entire game for to use and had plans for being stolen by, other people, even though you're kind of rewarded in a sense if people do take your resources. It's like I'd rather just not have, to deal with people taking my stuff
right.
to use for their own thing. So this is never really a game that I'm like really excited to get, you know, to go out and play.
Well,
So
I'll be grabbing Pittsburgh at first availability, so we can try that one out.
I'll give Pittsburgh a shot for sure.
Yeah,
All right. My number 47 was 39 last year, so it only fell 8 spots. I did actually get this one played. I showed it to my girlfriend actually, and she did not do terrible. And that is Six Siege, the
interesting.
board game. Oh, hey, it's a six, 6.1. Back in the day, it was like a three. And yeah, like this one is basically re-implements the video game as a board game. It is a 1v1 game. Well, I guess you can play teams, but it's 1v1. And they do a lot of really awesome things. If you're a fan of the IP, then this board game does a really good job of actually making it feel as close as possible to the video game. Very chess-like in the sense that both or one side plays the attackers, the other side plays the defenders. And what's cool is the defenders actually can have like they'll have gear and they'll have a certain amount of like doors and traps, and based off their defenders, they might have gadgets that they are setting up uh on the actual map. And I mean, in my case, I have all the map packs. There's tons of maps that you can actually play on. So they lay that out. And yeah, in the video game, you would then have to spend like the pre-game as you're actually wheeling around a camera and you see all that.
Right,
But in the board game, obviously you could see all that already. So what the attackers do is they now have to actually try and navigate through all of that. Um, so it's a lot of baiting and guiding and trying to be like, okay, I don't want them to come this way, but if they do go this way, then I can plan for this. Or if they don't want to deal with any of that stuff, then they're gonna have to come this way. And that's the defender's mindset. And the attacker is using their gadgets and stuff to shut down what the defenders do. And so it's this back and forth kind of like trying to read into the opponent and trying to outthink them and maneuver better than, than your opponent. Uh, on top of all that, what's really, really cool about this is there's so many attackers and defenders that you have team comp, like just different groups of five that allows you to just have different tactics, which is just
right,
amazing. And yeah, like you win if you either defuse or, refuse the bomb, or what's most likely going to happen is by killing the the opponent's five operators, which is very easy to do because they do not have a lot of health and there's not really many ways to actually heal. So yeah, like really like this game. And on top of everything I just mentioned, it can be, but it's primarily meant to be played in real time, which is awesome because that's going to have you make mistakes because you're trying to do your turn within a certain time limit. But the app allows you to modify that. If you're playing against someone who doesn't normally play these kinds of games, you could set your time to be really short, but their time to be really long.
Right.
So it allows that type of adaptability between players. Uh, yeah, like I'm amazed every time I play this game as to how well they captured the the actual feeling of the video game. And it was picked up by Steamforged, so now I don't know if Mythic Games has officially liquidated all their stuff. I think they did,
I want to say they
but
did. I think they were talking about it on one of the podcasts I listened to.
yeah, so essentially, I don't know if they're officially bankrupt, but they're pretty much non-existent at this point. I don't know if there's any other projects that haven't been delivered or what's going on with that, but Steamforge did pick this one up, and then they did announce, um, yeah, this the year six expansion, that apparently won't open. Cool. But yeah, so as long as Steamforge doesn't like change any of the rules or try to modify it and they just they support it with the operators that are out in the video game, then that's awesome. Like, because I was really hoping, because whenever I was done, like after I had played, seen all the heroes, not heroes, all the operators that came out for this, I went and got onto the video game. I was like, oh, have they released any more operators since then? They have quite a bit actually. So I was like, oh man, I wonder if they're gonna try and add them to the board game, even though I knew it wasn't gonna be Mythic Games doing it.
Right.
And yeah, Steamforge picked it up, and yeah, so I did back that, so I'll be getting Gear 6. There it is. Yeah, 8 new operators,
That'll
and then
work.
more maps, and yeah, so I think these are the 4 attackers and these are the 4 defenders, and this is whenever I checked the video game. These are the people that I saw that were not in the board game. So, and they seem pretty wacky. So I'm very, very excited to see
I'm
how they're
trying
going to do that.
trying to figure out what the hell that is on the in front of the face of that Fenrir.
I think it's like a like a neck. It's a neck pillow. Um,
Like I have this
it
little
it
glass of window in front of my mouth. Yes, I'm a
yeah, so I won't
badass.
get shot.
It's
It
it's called
is
Silent Strike. It keeps my voice from going.
one of those devices so you can talk on the phone in public. Um, After entering a space adjacent to an obstacle, an opposing operator sustains 2 damage. The opposing operator may spend an extra action to ignore this effect. So he's a defender, so he puts down these mats that you would just throw in the middle of a room, and because like you only have so many actions you can take, so it's like you can either put it in the middle of a room and I mean he's actually a great example is that there's a big room but there's like 8 squares that are adjacent to it, so it's like you can either go the long way around or completely avoid the room because you know that that mat's in there, or you can risk it and rush through it and take the 2 damage, or you can go through it and spend your second action to ignore that effect, but now they're doing nothing else. And that's just one operator's gadget. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you would like this. I don't know if the real time effect, and you don't have to play real time, but you kind of want to because then it keeps the flow and that's
Right.
how it feels like a first person shooter. I have no idea if you have any interest in trying out this game, but it's a good one. I really like it.
But we'll see. I need to watch a video of it being played just to see kind
The
of how.
guy that I did content with on this game, we did a ranking on the operators. He actually has a how to play video, and he's very knowledgeable about this game because he played it a lot on TTS.
Gotcha.
Um, and him and I were gonna do like a tournament. I don't know how we were gonna. It's very difficult to try and do a tournament for this because I randomized teams, and it's like, okay, we'll just see how this comp goes. But the problem is like you have like operators have to be attacking or they have to be defending. You can't. They don't swap. So the tournament, it's like, well, what if the attackers always win? How do we have defend like what do we do with defenders then? So, but yeah, we played like a few games and it was not close. Like he knew the maps way better than I did, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna fucking I'm rage quitting right now.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it's an awesome one. It's a shame Mythic Games turned into what they did. Uh, and but Steamforge picked it up, so
Yep.
that's
That'll
at
work.
least a good thing.
Yeah.
Not a good thing in the sense that it's Steamforge, but at least it's not their design.
Right. Exactly. All right. All righty. So my number 46, it actually jumped 29 spots. This is the highest it's ever been ranked. It's been on my list for the last
Art
handful
of
of years.
Crown, huh? Interesting.
What?
I
No.
don't know. Wow, your favorite game of all time.
No. I don't even know what the hell that is.
I don't know why. Oh, it's because I did another collab with Mike, and we were talking about anime, and one of the games on his videos was anime themed, and it made me think of this game, only in the sense that I played a demo of this at Gen Con, and the guy who was teaching it to me was way too into it.
Gotcha.
Like I was like I like texted Devin, and I'm like, you got to get me out of here, man. Like I don't know how to leave. It
That's
was
funny.
you. You're the one who taught me this game. You were way
No.
too into it. You had your body pillow. You had your
No.
second body pillow because the first one was all worn out. Uh,
No.
so
No. Anyway, my number 46 is Maracaibo.
okay. It's this one's worse. This is worse than Heart of the Crown.
Uh, so this one, like I said, it's been on my list for the last handful of years, but this is the highest it's went. That's because I got the expansion played finally. But I really like this one. It's colorful for starters, because like Great Western Trail is not on my list. I like Great Western Trail, but like this one I prefer much more. Um, so pretty much the aspect of this game is you're pretty much selling four times around the islands. That's the timer of the game, I guess. Um, and every single spot that you stop at, there's actions you can do. So whether it's letting you get cards, whether you want to place helpers, whether you want to fight for the three nations, um, you can you can complete quests, you can collect points, you can collect money, stuff like that. There's just a bunch of different things you can do. So it's not like, hey, I'm gonna race around the island four times and be done with the game. It's like you're wanting to actually really.
Imagine someone just doing that.
Oh, that
They
would be an
really
asshole
don't want to
move.
play. So they just, oh, game's over. All right, bye.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Can we play
Um,
Heart of the Crown? I promise. I got new sleeves.
so what I've found about this game is I played it enough now that these kind of games you always wonder if there's going to be a strategy that really stands out as being the one to go for. Like we talked about Orleans, having that deal
Yeah,
where
like if there's a meta.
right. This one I haven't found one yet. Like you can win in a handful of different ways. Um, but so anyway, I love this solo as well. There's also a quest mode. Um, that lets you, or what is it called? Not quest. Is it quest mode?
The
It's like a
quest mode.
like a legacy, like not uh I can't remember what they call it. Shit.
I have no idea. Are you talking about like
It's like a
their?
story mode. It's like a set of like it's
Oh,
got
it's like their.
the
I mean, that's for the solo mode, isn't it? Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
campaign.
Well,
Or I
right,
guess it's not
yeah.
solo, but
Right. There's like a campaign kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of
yeah,
that's the word I was looking
there's
for.
a Euro caamp, which I mean, I think that's the only one that's ever been done.
So there's that aspect. The AI is pretty solid on this. Oh, geez. The AI is pretty solid on this, but then so I liked the game before, but then when you get the Uprising expansion,
Hmm.
that's a modular expansion, which is always the best kind, right?
Yeah.
Um, but so you can it just adds a lot more of the for the competitive and the cooperative aspect for solo. Um, but it adds the all important asymmetrical player powers.
Yep.
So that's a big one. There's optional stories that get added in. There's and legacy and more legacy tiles, and new project cards. So there's all this different stuff. And the other thing that I really like with this game or with this expansion, is it adds another new rival for solo play. It adds Jacques. So you had the solo guy in the original, and then now you have Jacques that performs differently. Um, so he adds another aspect to solo, which I really enjoy because it's not like, they play differently. Um,
Right.
so that's kind of a neat little addition to it too. Um, this game got not I'm not going to say re-implemented. They did another game in this universe called the Pirates of Maracaibo.
Yep.
Um, and that one was 108 for me. It was really close. I haven't played it nearly as much, but it quite possibly could jump into the top 100 because it's like a card-based one. Like you lay out a bunch of cards that makes the where you're sailing and all that stuff, and it just adds some cool stuff to it, like this world. So that one may be jumping up next year into it just because I've been playing it actually more than this recently,
Nice.
because it's a quicker
Yeah.
game.
This one was 114
Yeah.
for me because I haven't played it nearly as much as Great Western Trail. But I mean, I completely agree. I think this one is fantastic. I think the expansion forward is great. I just think Great Western Trail is a cleaner game. It's way more
Right.
streamlined. And have you played New Zealand for Great Western Trail?
I have the only Great
Okay.
Western I played is second edition. That's it.
Gotcha. I mean, I'd probably say I like Maracaibo better than OG Great Western Trail. But I mean, I like New Zealand more. I mean, Great Western Trail, New Zealand was on in my top 100. But funny enough, I actually was looking it up while you were talking. Fister hasn't done a game in 2 years.
Maybe he's working
Like
on like a master game.
a big ass
Yeah.
fucking Heart of Crown remastered game. I don't know why.
Did he not do El Paso?
You know,
Oh, okay.
uh,
I was just
El
curious
Paso.
because with it being in that universe, I didn't know if he did. Nope.
I guess
Oh no, like he's
okay. I guess
part of it, but
he's part of it, which
it's probably just his world. A lot of times if it's in that world, they put the original
yeah.
person on there,
In terms of him being credited for like
the lead
a
guy.
game, like Pirates of Maracaibo is the
Well, and there was an expansion that just came out for Pirates this last year.
sure,
So I
but
mean,
like he
maybe,
hasn't really done like it like his own standalone game in a while.
Oh shit, I didn't realize he did Isle of Skye.
He did Out
Interesting.
of Sky, did Oh My Goods,
Yeah,
um, he did Mombasa. He did another game
interesting.
I have that I haven't touched, or maybe I don't have it anymore. Cloud Age.
What is that?
Um,
Bermuda Triangle. That hasn't come out over here yet. The second one at the top, Pirates of Maracaibo Bermuda Triangle. That one hasn't come out
is
yet
that the
here.
expansion? Oh
No, that's
no,
it.
this
No,
is
Commanders is the expansion that I have, but
gotcha.
it's interesting. Bermuda
He did
Triangle. I'll
Port
have to keep an eye
Royale.
for that.
But yeah, he I was kind of because he was like an up and coming kind of Euro designer. I really like a lot of his games,
It's like he's been putting
but
out expansions for his games like the
sounds
last
like it.
year or two, you know? So anyway,
But yeah,
yeah.
Maracaibo's a good one. I do like it. Alrighty. My number 46 is another video game IP, one that is incredibly brutal. This one was 20 last year and 26 the year before, so it fell. Apparently, I don't know how to do math. It fell 26 spots. Not, no, I have fell 26. Never mind. Um, and that is Frostpunk, the board game.
No, I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. You know the guy that I talk about that's horrible at teaching games. I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
name. Uh,
Yep.
he just nabbed this and wants to try to teach the guys how to play it. I'm like, "Hey, stay away, stay away."
You're like, hey, we're bringing in a guest character. It's
Oh,
me.
Jesus
Here I
Christ.
am. I'm here to teach this game. Hey, man. He's like, I was going to teach it. Just sit down.
Yeah.
Like, let me do my job. They paid me $800 to be here. They all pitched in. So you didn't teach it. So you don't teach this game.
My
That's
God,
going to be an atrocity, man.
I
That's
would
good. They're going
stay
to,
the fuck away.
that is brutal. Not only is this game brutal, like, it is so hard.
Right.
Um, there's a lot of things to keep track of. Mainly, I mean, just the individual roles that you have to deal with. Like this game is Survivor the game, where you have to manage your heat. Hey, maybe I should play this right now in my fucking frigid ass house.
Thematic.
Um, like you're dropping cubes into this so that that it might end up breaking, which could completely demolish you. You have to take care of hunger, disease, um, death. Like you can have workers die, uh, and then people are sad about it, and it's like, look, just expect that's what's gonna happen. But this game is scenario based. Like there's I don't remember how many scenarios come in the game, but one of the really cool things about this one is it takes a little element from Robinson Crusoe in the sense of event cards where you will come across certain events and you'll have to figure out how you want to react to them, and they'll be shuffled back into an event deck to come back later, which is really awesome. You can enact laws. Perfect example right here. Um, that like if you choose to have a law like come into play, like the easiest one that I can give an example for is child labor. Like
Yes.
you could have child labor where it's where you now like because there are kids like little meeples for kids, but they don't do anything at the start of the game. But you still have to feed them. Uh, Yet another reason not to have kids. And there are dumb fuckers who would live in a world like this and still have kids. And it's like, what are you doing? You know what? No, we're taking you out back and we're shooting you. Um, but so they don't do anything. But people are happy because their children aren't going out into the snow to fetch wood.
Right.
Or or you don't have to house them. Or you can have them work, but now you have to have a place for them to sleep. But now you have extra workers. So that's just one example. There's tons of different laws out there. You can go full on martial law, like Iron Fist. People aren't doing all this extra stuff, but there's pros and cons to all of it. Tons of different buildings that as you expand out, and explore the snow, you can build out buildings. The buildings have these color coded things that underneath them. That's the insulation. That's how far away they can be from the heater before you have to actually go out of your way to heat them. It is brutal. Like this game is you will start off doing really well. That's actually not the track. This must be either a TTS version or an older version. Um, but you'll start off doing really well, and as soon as someone dies, you're like, well, or someone gets sick, and then now you have to deal with the sickness for everyone. Here's the board, man. Like, have fun, or tell them to
Jesus.
have fun managing all this.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a fantastic game, though. Like, if you want an incredibly challenging but rewarding cooperative game, I highly recommend Frostpunk. I don't know if Glass Cannon is going to do anything for this. Frostpunk 2 was released as a video game, so I don't know if they're going to come out and try and support this one more, or if I know they have Don't Starve that's coming out. So I know Apex Legends, of course, has a bunch of characters that they can throw in. But I wouldn't be upset if they supported this one more because this one is a really awesome cooperative game, even though I have never won it.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's my look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. It's bonkers.
it's like bright red. I cannot wait for you to tell me how that
Oh, well, I'm
goes.
not going. I'm just gonna be listening to them to tell
Yeah.
me.
We need to like give Chad a lapel mic so we can like listen in
No,
or something.
Chad will not go. I'll tell him about it beforehand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but if he has an interest in playing it, I'll teach it. I'll gladly teach it, and we'll have a much better time.
Yeah.
So that's my
All
number
right.
46.
All right. My number 45 is the first of my four new ones. So obviously four of my next five are going to be new. This is one that interested me a little bit because there was a podcast I was listening to that talked it up pretty well. Then I started looking into it. It's a GMT game. and which generally makes war games. Like the tiny little tokens, the really, really
Oh
heavy war
yeah,
games,
the
Right.
sweaty war gamer
Right.
game.
But this is one of the first games, to my knowledge, that was not war game based. And that is the Plum Island Horror. Um,
Am
so
I? Hold on.
it's just there's no B. Yeah.
There's no B. I'm
Yeah.
I'm just dumb.
Um, so this one is it's best played 1 to 2 players. I play it solo because I don't even know what BGG says. Is it not
I don't
loading?
know either. I don't know if BGG is on the fritz or if it's my. There we
Oh,
go.
there it goes. So it says
This
best
looks
one
like
to
a
two.
Goosebumps book, man.
Right, kind of, yeah. But so it was interesting to me because of how it's not their normal, you know, deep war game, even though this is a heavy game. Like, what did the weight say on it? It
Oh,
was like
3.2.
3.2. I'd say that's about right. I mean, but the thing is it's just a let me clarify. The game plays smooth, but if you're reading the rule book, it's the basic rules are fine, but then there's so many sub rules under the rules that you have to keep track of that's where that's the complexity. Like if you know how to play the game, then it's going to run smooth. 3-2 is perfectly fine. But if you don't retain information well, you're going to have to be searching quite a bit. But anyway, pretty much what you're doing in this game is you're on an island, obviously, and a virus has come out, so it's a zombie game, more or less. And you're doing like a almost like a tower defense style game. And there are these 6 factions that players can choose from. I usually double hand this to choose 2 factions and play. And you're trying to um, escape the island because pretty much what you're doing is you're not going to win the game because they're just going to constantly come. So like you're trying to do enough stuff to be able to get off the island, and then you're just going to let the island be, like because they can't escape the island. It's just going to be kind of like a secret because it's like a secret like conspiracy hidden thing. Um, but what you're doing, like you spend supplies to do everything. Like you get 2 supplies to start the game. You have to feed your people at the end of every round. So basically, there's 3 rounds broken into 3 sections. There's like a morning, day, night phase. Um, you feed your people at night. Also night is when the bad guys do their thing, start moving more. Um, but this has it has variable turn order as well. It uses that, and some people like this, some people don't. In a solo game, I don't mind it, but there's going to be 8 tokens in a bag, um, and 4 of which are player action tokens, 3 of which are zombie action tokens, and then which spawn zombies and do stuff. And then there's 1 black token that where you have to draw a bad news event card, which does crazy shit. Um, so whether you like that kind of thing or not, we're drawing a bag for actions. I mean, you know, half the actions are you, so it is what it is on that point. But um, you're going through and doing a bunch of stuff with this, though. You are, like I said, you have to feed your people. Uh, one of the weird things because they try to make it um it's kind of an odd thing because you have to spend supplies for everything. It's kind of like the balancing mechanic for it because you have to spend supplies to build fortifications. You have to spend supplies to feed your people. You have to spend supplies to shoot a ranged shot, um, as well. But resources are very scarce to come by, so you're needing to like go out of your base and try to scavenge for resources to be able to do stuff. Um, the zombies are tough. They come out all over the place. But there's an expansion that actually is going to be coming out soon. It's on pre-order. I have it pre-ordered. It's called More Bad News, I want to say. But it is yeah. Yeah, more of a bad thing. Okay. I couldn't remember what exactly it was. And it sounds like it's just adding, it looks like, okay, yeah, more factions, new scenarios, new mutations, location manipulation, stuff like that. Um, it's just a neat one. For a solo player, I really like it because it's got a lot of decisions to make, um, and stuff like that, but it's not that difficult of a game, like as far as learning and keeping it up. Once you've learned it, GMT and their rule books are very, um, I don't want to say nerdy because that's not it, but like there's a type of person that loves those like, Stalingrad 1947, and stuff like that like they can be the most boring rule books in the world. We're so accustomed to our rule books having like, oh, cool pictures and all that stuff. Where this
Mm,
one has pictures, but it's still just you can tell a war game company made the rule book.
got it.
You can actually tell a war game company made the game when the game's sitting on the table because it's a lot of shits and a lot of stuff like that. But but yeah, this one is a lot of fun, and uh I'm looking forward to that expansion to add more to it. Um so I definitely wasn't displeased by this after playing it and
Cool.
stuff. So yeah, it's a good one.
Nice. Yeah. Never heard of it. All right. My number 45 was 28 last year, fell 17 spots. This one's kind of an anomaly because I have played this one um recently. I think this is like a good example of doing the top 100 twice and taking the average
Right.
of games because it definitely should be higher, but it's not right now. And that is Mythic Battles. Ragnarok is the one I'm picking. Mainly because I like Norse mythology. Yeah, literally, you could take this one and Pantheon and Isfet.
Yep.
They're all virtually the same game, just different god powers and gods and you know miniatures and all that. But yeah, this is a two-player skirmish game. It says 2 to 4. It's a two-player game, where you are trying to kill the opposing team's god, or in this case, gather enough runes, have your god absorb enough runes. There is so many factions, not factions, but so many units that you could
Yes.
draft into your team. Just in Ragnarok alone, Pantheon definitely has the most stuff. But what's really cool about this game is that it's completely cross-compatible with all the other renditions. So if you want to go all out and have like a cool, Norse versus Egypt fight, you can certainly do that. And like you don't have to make any real modifications to the game. Uh there's tons of so you draft, you have to have a god. But you could then have any number of combinations between monsters, heroes, and troops. But you have a certain number of like points that are allocated to you, and each unit costs a certain amount of points. So eventually, what you do is you'll kind of have like a few heroes, maybe a monster, maybe your god, not maybe, and your god, and then you'll just fill out the rest with like troops. But yeah, like the way you activate your units is awesome because each unit comes with a certain amount of cards. Like if you choose Freya, she comes with 4 cards, and all your units will have a deck of cards that you shuffle together. Did they like? I can't zoom in. It's like, did they
They
actually
nipped her.
draw her
They nipped
nipples?
her. They nipped her. Yep.
They're like,
It's cold and
oh,
it's cold in
oh,
in the north.
in Norse. Like, that dude was like sweating. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give Freya some nipples. Oh yeah, I'm going on break. Hey, where are you taking that Freya card? I want to make sure I do a good job. Um, but every unit has a certain amount of cards that are shuffled into a deck, and then you will draw your hand of cards, and that's how you activate units, which is awesome. But what's also cool is they have this board that will have like a tracker that'll highlight, where their health is. And their health will determine a bunch of things. Obviously, their health, then their defense, then like their movement and what abilities are available to them. Like right now, if she has 8 health, she has the necklace of Brisinger and Valshamar, whatever. If yeah. But as soon as she goes down to 2 health, she loses her Volsheimer action. Um, and also can't move, which is bad. And that's not great because your god is a way you can lose. So I really, really like that system in this game. The deck determining who you can activate, the diminishing returns on your heroes, monsters, or god as they take damage. And on top of all that, this game has the best dice-based combat that I've seen in a skirmish game. It's a little weird to get to understand, but
Yes, that was my
like,
issue with the first one. It took me a little bit.
yeah. But I mean, once you like do one set of combat, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I got it. Okay. It it completely removes luck from the game. I mean, it doesn't because it's still combat, but the sense of like you're very rarely gonna whiff on an attack. But so whenever you do an attack, you'll probably get at least one hit, even against gods. So, like, and there's not many ways to either negate damage or heal. So there's just so much variety to this. And on top of all that, one thing I kind of want to do, Brad, if we ever have free time, um, this game has scenarios.
Yes.
Like, so you could just play scenarios out and that are going to give different rules and different boards and different, you know, team comp that are already pre-made for you. And that just sounds like it'd be super fun to do going through because there's a ton of scenarios now with both Pantheon, Ragnarok, and Isfet.
Yeah, the
Um,
only time I've ever played this, I played Pantheon and I kicked everybody's butt because I had a good
nice. Did you have
combination.
Achilles? Because did you have
I
Unchilles?
I had Achilles with the Nemean Lion and somebody else, but man, they were just brutal. They were just whooping everybody.
Dude, Achilles is busted because he's like, oh, you ignore the first instance of damage. And like I said, you might almost always get at least one hit, but to damage Achilles, you need to get two to even wound him once. He's brutal. But yeah, it just they do everything right for a skirmish game. And I don't know. I have not played this game enough to know if there's actually a strategic difference between all the three sets or like what makes the gods different from one another. If it's like, oh, the Egypt gods are faster or whatever, whatever it might be. Like the Ragnarok gods are tankier. Or if they're just all the same but with different abilities. I don't know. Someone who plays this game way more than me might be able to tell me that,
Or
but
maybe they just ripped off the abilities from Pantheon and just slapped them over the top
they
of
easily could have. I
Ragnarok.
mean, they very well could have, but from my experience, uh I have not come across that where
Yeah.
it's like, wait a minute, Loki's ability is just it's just whatever trickster god
Thor
in
is just like Achilles.
yeah, like I have not seen that. So
Yeah,
it's really cool. Like this one a lot, and I think Japan is next.
that'll be okay, I guess.
I think it's gonna be awesome. I don't know anything about I don't know if they're gods. Like that'll be an interesting kind of twist for them to go that route, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing next.
Yeah. All
That
right.
was my number 45.
All right. My number 44 is then as another new one on this list. And it is one that won a lot of people's game of the year this last year, or was up in the top two or three at least. Um, and that is Shackleton Base. Um, this one, and they announced the expansion, which it really excites me. Because I don't know even know what it adds, but just having more is cool because the crux of this game, the Shackleton base is you're building a base on the moon, pretty much. And the thing that makes this game really cool is in the core game, again, like I said, I don't know what the expansion adds. We'll look here in a minute, but there are 7 corporations in this game, and you're going to choose 3 at random. Um, before you play each game. Every corporation has its own um, projects, actions, ways to score, mechanisms, and everything. So each game's going to play different depending on what corporations you have out. Um, so, one strategy may be good one game, but then if you have different corporations out, then it's going to change everything. Um, Resources availability also is different depending on corporations. So right there, you have the replayability just right off the bat of the setup, just having different, you know, people and stuff like that to be able to do. Pretty much what you're doing is at the you playing 3 rounds broken in 3 phases, and you you draft. You have to draft a shuttle at the beginning, a shuttle tile, um, and then and it'll let you know what type of astronauts and resources they can use that round. So that's going to be kind of how you start things off. On your action phase, you're going to be deploying your astronaut workers out to do different actions, like building structures, gathering resources, stuff like that. And then there's the maintenance phase, which um, you get to your workers that are deployed will do their work. So you'll get like stuff from that. You'll get a bonus if they're working on a thing you own. Um, you collect income, you pay maintenance costs, and then if any of the buildings have end of round effects, those happen. And then you take your workers and you just keep going. Um, the expansion, let me see what the expansion adds here. Um,
Below, within,
oh, you
above.
got it. So it looks like it adds
Oh,
Lunar
moon
City
stuff. Always got to have
focuses.
moon moon
Because
stuff.
this whole game's on the moon. So
Oh,
uh
okay.
Lunar City focuses on attracting civilian settlers to the moon. Undermoon introduces an advanced evacuation system or excavation. Sorry, I'm reading it small. Excavation system allowing players to dig tunnels beneath. And then there's Zenith workers. Players can collaborate with powerful construction conglomerate to build. I was kind of hoping it would add more uh, corporations, but maybe that's too big of an ad, like, because the combinations are crazy with when you start adding in different, because the corporations change the game so much depending on what's
Gotcha.
chosen. Um, but yeah, this one, like to me, this one is blows SETI and Galactic Cruise out of the water for games that came out, stuff like that to me. Um, so I don't know.
Well,
We'll
you'd be
see
the
where it
only one.
goes. Well, I mean, like I was saying, this one, of course, those came out. Depends on how, so many lists are different, like depending on if they counted those as 2025 or 2024, stuff like that. But
Right.
like a lot of people put this as their highest,
Yeah.
you know. It just
No, I
depends
definitely want
though.
to give this one a shot. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds like it'd be a pretty solid Euro to check out.
Yeah. So and then
Sorry We Are French publisher. They're the ones who did Icky or Iki. Icky.
oh, and then like in the footsteps games as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're a pretty solid publishing company.
Yeah.
Just a shame that they're French. But yeah, I definitely want to give this one a shot.
Yep. All right. That's my
Cool.
44.
All right. My 44 was 42 last year, so it fell 2 spots, and was 30 the year before. This is my catch-all for this type of system. For the most part, they've kind of finally did away with it, even though there's a game that came out last year that does implement the system in a small way. But this is Pandemic. So, this is counting Pandemic, Pandemic Iberia, Pandemic Fall of Rome, Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. This is pretty much counting every version of Pandemic that I've played, including Legacy 1, 2, and 3. Um, like God, what's actually weird now is like they're saying, oh, re-implemented by Fall of Rome and 12 more.
Yeah.
Um, but because they all kind of do their own system. Oh, it's not counting Rising Tide. That one actually sucks ass. Or but yeah, the game that came out last year that kind of does the system a little bit is the Fate of the Fellowship, but that's you would never think that was a Pandemic game by playing it if you hadn't already played Pandemic. Yeah, I mean, God, what's to say about this one that hasn't already been said? It's like almost the grandfather of cooperative games where you are working together to try and eradicate four diseases. And how you do that is through set collection of gathering five cards of the same color, going to a lab, turning all those in, and that's how you, well, I guess you cure it. You eradicate it if you then remove all the cubes of that color, which is not a necessity. Like, you don't have to eradicate them to win, you just have to cure all four. But if you eradicate them, that means that the infection cards don't do anything, but it still counts as your draw. This
Right.
is one of the first games that came out that utilized that pandemic system in the sense that the cards that you draw and go into the discard pile, so the cards that have been infecting these cities, whenever you draw an epidemic card, your discard pile gets shuffled and put back on top. So those same cities are going to start continuing to be infected, which is such a thematic and awesome system to have into a game. Uh, and they've implemented that in all the other ones. Iberia does the same thing. Follow Rome. Follow Rome is the one where they finally kind of really did the big departure from Pandemic because it feels more like Defenders of the Realm, where you are trying to defend Rome from the invading hordes, and so they run along a path to I think it's Rome. Um, whoa, if I zoom in, is it? Yeah, Rome. So all the different these are essentially the infection cubes that will
Right.
move along their colored path. So they're all honestly great. I actually out of the disease ones, I like Iberia the most. Well, the legacy games I like the most. Legacy 1, 2, and 3 are some of the I mean they're the best legacy games in my opinion. One of the best experiences of board gaming I've ever had was playing those three legacy games. And uh yeah, it's a tried and true system. Absolutely love it. I actually played the Reign of Cthulhu one when my girlfriend and I went to Oregon. Um and that one was a blast because they have uh like the different gods that over the course of the game will be revealed and that will either have a one-time effect or a passive effect over the course of the game. So that was a really cool system. They've gotten pretty creative over the years and then yeah, finally threw it into a Lord of the Rings game that is amazing. But like I said, I'm not actually lumping Fate of the Fellowship in with this one. This one is just
Right.
all the ones that actually say pandemic on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is a catch-all for all of them because I don't want to have four different pandemics in my top 100.
Well, and if you notice, the new releases of Fall of Rome don't have pandemic written on them either.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
they took it off fine. Like that box doesn't say it, I don't think. But
It's
like
right
the new,
here.
okay, well the new boxes don't say pandemic on them now. Like the
Interesting.
but I mean it's everybody knows. Like it's
Yeah. It's like, yeah, no, we know. We
pa-
know this is
yeah.
pandemic.
So
But
so
I mean,
anyway,
it makes sense. Like it's as far away from pandemic as Fate of the Fellowship from more or less. Like
right.
this one is closer to pandemic than Fate of the Fellowship is, but you can kind of see the similarities between the two.
Yep.
It's yeah, love the system. If you're jumping into the hobby and you're watching this video for some reason and you want a cooperative game, you cannot go wrong with Pandemic.
Or Pandemic the Cure, which is the better
No.
version.
No, it's fucking not. You play Pandemic the Cure right now and tell me if it's good. You fucking lying piece of shit.
I like it better. Like no, I mean, if you're just talking about base game Pandemic right here that you have pictured and the Cure, I like the Cure better. Like the other ones add enough theme to
Well,
it.
that is
Like
your favorite band as well, so it makes sense.
not really. I mean, I don't mind them, but all right. So my number 43 is another new one. This one I've talked a lot about, like in our top games of 25 and stuff like that. And this is Heredity, the Book of Swan.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
this one is I'm actually into my second playthrough of it right now. Um,
Oh, I thought we were playing it together. I see how it is.
I thought you
I
were gonna
see.
play it.
I
I
thought we
thought
were playing
I
this
thought I was letting
together.
you borrow it, and you were gonna play it. But
Either or.
we
Well,
can. I mean, I don't
I guess
care.
I'm borrowing it now. You don't
Well, no,
want
I
to
mean,
play with me.
I only have a couple more games, so I mean, we can do it if you want. It's fine. It replays really well,
Nice.
and I would just keep my mouth shut for certain deals. Um, but anyway, this one really just came out of nowhere for me. I saw it on a shelf at a local game store. Kind of looked at it, looked interesting. Read the back of the box, it sounded interesting. I ended up nabbing it, and it actually just really is cool. Like it's you're going through. It's cooperative, obviously, but I run it solo. Um, and you play as the family. They say family. It's think of like Walking Dead, where they all consider themselves family, but they're from all different walks of life. Um, and you play through a campaign that has like 5 chapters in it. Um, so it's not a long campaign either. I mean, you're talking like maybe 10, 15 hours of gameplay to get through all those.
Nice.
Um, and this one, because there's another one coming out this year. Um, that's like the Lexington Trials or something like that. But um, it's a French company that makes this. But anyway, this one's inspired by like The Last of Us, Walking Dead. So just mainly because it's zombie stuff. Um, but you play through these 5 chapters. Um, you're doing all these different things. You're laying those tiles out, or the tiles, the card tiles out, as you're doing different things. You have your standee characters. But what's cool is you have these things on your card, that are like, like the eye symbol, the speech symbol, 2 hands. You have your feet and stuff. So as you take damage, you cover up spots, and that limits you. So it's like if you take hand damage, you really can only hold one thing. You can only do things with one hand. If you lose your eyes, then you're not going to be able to see stuff. Like the theme comes in that way. If you lose your chat deal, you're not going to be able to converse. You were walking may be hindered if you lose feet stuff. You can actually flip those cards over, and it shows the damage sides of them as well, which is another cool little aspect. Um, and you like that picture right there. You get your items, and they line up on those spots, showing you kind of where they go and stuff that you have. The card tiles are really small. Your standees are pretty small, but the art on the little cards is pretty solid for what you'd expect to, especially on a card. Um, and you go through this story, and there's an NPC character that is Swan. She's like a little girl that you're trying to protect, and you find out more about her as you play through the campaign. But there's like a karma deck, um, during checks and stuff like that you mess with. Um, there's no fixed order, so you can just kind of go in whatever order you want, which is always nice. If people are in, you can kind of set up stuff that way. Um, and it's just like, I don't know, man. This is just one of those that just really, really surprised me. And I've really liked it, and I can't wait for the Lexington, um, what is it called? Heredity. Um, oh, the Lexington tree, the tale from Lexington, or
Lexington
Lexington
Creek.
Creek. And it says it's inspired by, what does it say? It's inspired by, it does, oh, like
Oh
Stranger
yeah, Guillermo
Things.
del Toro, Westworld,
So
and
it's
Stranger
going to be like
Things.
a weird horror, is what
Yeah.
it's going to be. So,
And the finales can be really bad if it's following Stranger Things
so,
and Westworld.
so, so anyway, I mean, I just like the gameplay, and it's not a difficult game to play at all, but it's got enough story like in it, and enough choices, and it's just one that really caught on to me. And I I think you'll like it just because it's a short campaign. It's a campaign that we could finish like in like 2 sit-throughs, probably if we
Nice.
really wanted to and stuff. But it's a good one. And
Cool.
right now, because it just made it overseas. This game came out in it says it came out in 2023. It just came over to the US this year, or well, 2025. So that's why it was on my 2025 lists. So hopefully
Okay.
the Lexington one doesn't take as long to get over here since this one's doing stuff. So we'll just kind of see.
Yeah.
But yeah, Heredity, the Book of Swan.
Nice. All right. My number 43 is my second new one to the list, which is actually kind of surprising. This one's because I do really like this game. I mean, it's 43 and it's brand new, but it is a campaign game. But I wonder if it didn't go up as high because I have finished it before we did our top 100, and that is Dragon Eclipse.
Man, I have this sitting down there. Like I finally punched it, got all
Gets
ready. So
cobwebs on
no,
it.
no, I'm
Dust.
ready to jump in.
I imagine that's most of your games. Like it's an old dusty tomb
I
when you
dust them.
replay
I dust them.
in a maid outfit. That's hot. Um,
Yep.
but this is a 1 to 2 player campaign game. I personally believe it's designed for one because the 2 player rules are a little weird. Um, but take the idea of Pokemon and make it a board game because that's kind of like the overall shtick. This is where you will start out with a misling, is what they're called, and you will go through scenarios. Well, I guess not really scenarios. You can. Well, no, they are pretty scenario based. It has a map that you kind of will pick locations to go to, and you will interact with that locations areas and make decisions and unlock stuff. It's very Awakened Realms in the sense that there's a keyword like sheet that you will mark on to keep track of the things you've come across or decisions you've made that will unlock different avenues later on in the game. But throughout the game you will eventually come across and have to fight a mistling, and more often than not, you'll actually be able to tame them, which is really, really cool because it turns like if you're fighting a Mistling, it will have well, this is actually a picture of the Mistlings fighting each
Yeah.
other. Here we go. Uh, it'll have a health pool, and you can just defeat it and move on, and that'll, give a different story outcome. But the other way, this one doesn't have it because this is the prologue, but it'll have another card that will have conditions you have to meet in order uh in order to tame it. And I think that's really, really cool. So if you don't want the particular Mistling in your crew, then you can just defeat it, move on, or you can try and tame it and then use that Mistling in future fights. They have the awesome elemental tree where it's like certain elements are strong against other elements. The fighting of this one is very puzzly. I really like. There's actually not a whole lot about this game I dislike. Like it has pseudo deck construction for your Mistling, and over the course of the campaign, you'll be opening packs to add to your available cards that you'll be able to shuffle in, but it's very minimalist in the sense of like it's not like, hey, now every card is available to you. It's like, no, you're using a fire type Mistling. It can only use fire cards or basic cards. But
Right.
there are some Mistlings where it's like, hey, it's water and wind, but it can only have like 2 wind cards. And all the cards are very, very powerful and very creative. So you get some awesome uh combinations. And the way you play and pick your cards is like you draw the top four and whichever one you want to do, that will give you these gems that you can then use for, free actions or your Mistlings ultimate, which can be huge, but the game's not easy. I've definitely gone up against mismatched opponents and got rocked. And it's like, uh-oh. But whenever you do defeat them, it feels like you've played extremely well. The game surprisingly has a roguelike mode that I have a video for. It's fine. Like, I don't think I would ever go out of my way to play it again. So if you really like this game, then that might be something. And Awakened Realms is supporting it. It has
Yeah.
another expansion, for the Grand Arena, I think is what it's called.
Think so. I backed it all, but I need
Yep.
to get my other stuff played. You forgot
Yeah.
the best part about this game, and that's the map books that have the stupid binding at
Oh,
the top and bottom of the page so that it doesn't block the whole middle of the book.
Yep. Oh, look at that
That,
right there. Yep.
yep.
That's just, it's so nice. And in fact, I started using the map book instead of the neoprene mats because it was quicker
Yeah.
to pull out.
Yep.
Um, yeah, they do a lot of things right. It definitely has an awesome Pokemon feel. I think the Grand Arena is set thousands of years before the story of this one, so it's not
Interesting.
directly tied to it.
That's cool.
Um, and then yeah, there's a ton more Mistlinks coming out, and then I think they're creating a actual 1v1 or 2v2 fighting version of this
Y-
game, which could be
yes.
awesome. That was already in this version, like where you can fight one another, but now I think it's more isolated. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's my number 43,
Good
Dragon
choice.
Eclipse.
This one has a chance to hit my top 100 next year if I play through the campaign
Nice.
this time. So we'll see how it goes.
All right,
Um,
cool.
all right, my number 42 is my last new one to this list.
Oh, you
That
had four new ones back to
four in a
back.
row. Yeah. This is one I showed to you, and I think you might have backed it. I can't remember if you ended up doing it or not. I just paid for the shipping and the pledge manager for it, and that is Endeavor Deep Sea for the new
I did
expansion.
not back
Okay, I wasn't
this.
sure if you did or not. This one, I've said this before when this has come up. I've played the original Endeavor, which was about, shipping and all that stuff, like, open ocean shipping. It had slaves. People didn't like that I had slaves, so that one kind of got a black eye for that purpose. And then they came out with Endeavor Age of Sail, which was a newer version of that was more pirate, not more sailing and stuff like that. Um, and it was decent, but it still didn't hit. Then this one came out, and I'd given up on Endeavor after those last two, really. And
Hmm.
then everybody just adored this game, and it was getting so much praise and stuff that I finally found a Kickstarter copy that I got off of Guy. And this one is so much different than those other ones, and so much better than those other ones. This one's modern day, and you are actually you have like you have a ocean, uh, like a science building kind of thing. You're in the open ocean and you're like exploring the ocean. You're doing different stuff like that. Um, and this one, uh, there's a ton of tiles. Like I was teaching you like that game we played, we didn't really get through a ton of the tile. There's still a bunch of tiles we didn't touch as
Yeah.
far as the depths. Um, and then so it's a limited amount of turns.
Oops.
You are going to be you can your resources on your player board are really important because allows you to either recruit better people or let you do things better depending on how you're upping your tracks on your player board. Um, and the one thing that was kind of different to me was like I wish because this expansion's not doing anything with it either. The newest one is like they're pretty much all the same on those jobs on the when you are recruiting those
Oh,
workers
yeah.
and your team. They're pretty much all the same, which is fine, but it's like I wish there was a little bit more variability in that, but that's a minor nitpick on that. Um, but this is a scenario-based game as well. You pick a scenario, that scenario card, like right there on the with all the hexes on it, that'll tell you the initial setup. It'll tell you how far you can go one way or another. It gives you your goals for the end of the game. It also is like your research board, so you're going to be putting down those your tokens on there to do more stuff, get more points, get more resources. I think there was like I want to say there was because they were double sided. Maybe there was like 12 maybe in the base game, maybe more. Um, the expansion's adding some more of those. Um, there's a couple of mini expansions. There's like an Orca one, and there's like a um, can't remember what the other one. Oh, like a robot one and stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff with this. It's pretty to look at. It's okay. Yeah, Uncharted Waters is the one that's coming out, but then there's it doesn't have like Orca
Yeah.
Reintroduction, Underwave Academy, and the Robot Wanderer. Yeah, they're just mini expansions that come in, but this one was adding so there's new missions, more depths to explore. So it looks like it's adding more tiles.
Yeah, four
Oh, it
new
does say new. It
scenarios.
does say new specialists looking to join your crew. I didn't see that the last time,
Oh,
so
cool.
there actually will be more. They also get to incorporate new mini expansions. So there's aquatic wildlife, exploring deeper depths than ever possible, restoring the fragile balance of marine ecosystem. Okay. And that's the other thing about this is it's like there are some crazy tiles down there, but it's also got that like conservation aspect to it, you
Yeah.
know? So it goes away from that other way, other style of their first games to this. Um, and this is kind of their big money maker right now. I mean, it's pretty popular. I mean, it's getting ready to crack into the top 100 on BGG,
Oh,
um,
yeah. Guess so.
and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just excited for more of this stuff. It has a good solid solo mode as well,
Cool.
and stuff like that. So yeah,
Nice.
it's
Yeah.
my 42.
I did like this one. This one was a good one. All right. My number 42 was 19 last year and 22 the year before. So it fell 23 spots. This one will definitely be higher on your list, significantly higher. I
Well,
don't
you
know
don't
why
know
it's over
me.
here because
You don't know me.
I do know you. You are so predictable. This one will probably, I'm gonna call it right now. This one is your number four.
My number four.
Number four.
Wow, you must
Tell
think
me
highly of
right now.
this
You
one.
have to. We'll spoil the top 10. If this one's number four, you have to tell me right now.
Well, I got to scroll down there because we'll see.
Burn cycle.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Is
You asshole.
it actually your four? That
My
is
rent.
amazing.
Yes.
That. Oh God. That. I love that. Um. So it'll be, four videos before we talk about or before Brad talks about this.
Yes.
I promise you guys, we clearly do not talk about
No.
or show each other our top 100s. That was a pure guess. That just
You
shows how much I know him.
you just know that I'm a Chip Theory fanboy.
Yeah, like I almost was like, man, it's not gonna be as high as four. Like, but I'm like, whatever. That's awesome. Um, yeah, I feel like this would be a game though if we did the two top 100s and average it out, it'd be higher for me. I do really like this game a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, this is one of the best, if not the only game that I can think of where you're actually meant to sneak in and not actually fight uh
Yes.
the enemies. One of the coolest things about this game is the sheer amount of scenarios that you pick based off the corporations. There's a ton, and while they haven't announced anything recently for it, I think there's how many corps? Five corporations? Four? I know three came in
There
the.
might be six.
Was
I
it
don't know.
six?
Let me
Well,
look
I
while
know
you're
three
talking.
came in the core game. I guess I don't know that. I think three came in the core game, and then they had the expansions that added one. Maybe it's one. Maybe it is four. I don't remember.
I'll look real quick.
But
Yeah.
each yeah, each corporation has like their fucking A. Their I was gonna say studio, their office layout. And your goal is to, meet the objectives of these scenarios using the various bots and their special powers to do so. Uh, it's so cyberpunk themed, so sci-fi that you have that. Here we go. Cool. This is perfect. Um, that it just has that awesome like infiltrate the corporation, hack into their systems. That there's so much to do. There's four.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Three in the core and the expansion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Biodefend came out in the
Yeah.
expansion.
Uh, and then like in this picture, there's like this would be the scenario, and that determines the length and difficulty of it as well. How many by length it means how many floors you're going on, and there's three
Yeah.
floors that you can go to. It has this awesome action selection track on which action you want to do if you happen to do an action that matches not a burned out token. Like if you did your third action and it was this blue one, then you would do an enhanced utility action.
Yes.
Um, So the action selection is awesome. The dice resolution works out extremely well because it's chip theory. The different unique robots are awesome. They all have, really good, awesome powers. And the fact that each one of these can also be your
Command module.
yep, your command module, which will
Yeah.
give everyone kind of a unique power. But I mean your command module kind of comes with you whenever you're going around the scenario. The way it handles the enemies is very, very clean in the sense that if they don't know where you're at, they will actually move. Well, some might not move, some might patrol, some might just go back and forth. So very video game-esque. And then uh whenever when you are seen, then they'll actually go and investigate. So this game and Stalker, I think, do NPC movement very, very well. Um, so there's just a lot that actually goes in this game that makes it just a blast to play. Unless you're not into stealthy, sneaky kind of games, then this one might not be for you. Not that you can't fight, it's just that you might not want to. But there might be options where you want to because it's like, oh, hey, there's a lot of stuff to explore in this room, and let's just clear it out, and we have the capability to do so.
Yeah.
So, so yeah,
Yeah, man.
and then of
Yeah,
course,
the brass mags were an awesome addition to this
yeah.
too, to get that 3D effect. That
Oh
was
yeah,
top
yeah.
notch.
They're so good. And then they added the brass mags to Too Many Bones, and then
Yeah.
eventually they'll probably do brass mags for Elder Scrolls. I imagine
Yeah,
that
I don't know
they,
if they will for Hoplo, unless they do for Victorum and not the other, because there's just too many units and different
yeah, I
stuff,
think
you know?
probably Hoplomachus would be their best bet because there's actual champions, like, and
Right.
that would be it. Yeah. So Burn Cycle is a fantastic game, very unique, from a lot of games that are out there. So if you want to, I was gonna say steampunk, cyberpunk, stealth, stealthy game, then Burn Cycle's it.
Yeah, and this one also like because the first time I played this and I found out how it was working, I was a little concerned because and it totally makes sense. So, but I was like, okay, so every pl time you play this corporation, it's going to be the same setup as far as
Yeah.
the rooms. And I was like, well, that's gonna be kind of weird. But then you think about it, it's like it's the same damn building, there and
Right.
stuff. So, but then they do such a good job of changing everything around with the scenarios. And the other thing, I don't think you talked about it, that the that thing over to the left when you had that one picture, the network board,
Yep.
um, was always a cool little mini game because that was like a mini game itself because there's like pings and there's like you're like a virus and they're looking around and then there's like the antivirus coming around to try to kick you out and you get to
Yeah.
get stuff that way. It's just a really neat, just so much cool stuff with this. And I think this was like one of their more underrated of their big games,
I think so
you know,
too.
which is sad because I would like more content for it and stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's still just an outstanding deal. And there's a stack of heroes you can be,
Yeah.
and there's
I
just
mean,
stacks of
the
everything.
expansions that they did make for it added, yeah, more characters. Their robophobia. Well, that added more enemies, like more
Right, the
captains,
Renegades, I think was your
renegades, and then specialists added
yeah.
like different, like smaller versions of characters. So they did support it really, really well. But
Wait,
yeah, I mean,
click on the Ebwall expansion because is that no
oh, it
no
is a
no.
new
So there's
corp.
five. There's five
Okay,
then.
there's five.
Google
Nice.
search was wrong
Well,
because
fuck it.
Ebwall is yeah, Ebwall and Biodefend were the two new ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay.
So yeah, burn cycle. My number 42.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. You know when. You know when.
That's amazing. That's so awesome.
All right. So, my last one for this segment is it was 29 last year. It fell off 12. It's it just did because I haven't played it a whole lot, but I still adore this game. This game has been as high as 6 on my list way back in 2019. It's hovered around, here and there. And this was my favorite game of of the Garfield games, and that is Raiders of the North Sea. Um, so this was in the era of Garfield games. This and I
when he
mean,
was tame.
well, no, and then the next segment, like with the architects and paladins, and those were still fine, but then they just started going like wild.
Yeah.
So this one is one of the first games I played back in the day that had that interesting worker placement because there's three colored workers out there, black, white, and gray, and there's some of them are required for different spots and such, but you'll always have one worker with you. Um, you will place a worker and do that action, and then you pick up a worker from someplace else and take that action. So you get two actions every round. But you have to be wary about what you're picking up because you may be opening up something for somebody else. So it's like you know that it has a lot of gamesmanship with that. You're gaining resources, doing all this stuff. You're eventually going to sell across the ocean and start attacking like raiding the littler fortresses on the edge. You're working your way into the final big fortresses. Um, you get crew that helps you with stuff, but there's these different tracks along the lines that you will also do. The Valkyrie track, as whenever you kill a deal that has the Valkyrie, which is the black token, you have to lose one of your workers as well. But then you go up on that track. So it's like, yeah, because there's victory points. I think that it's power victory points and then or power Valkyrie and then regular victory points, I think.
Yep.
Um, and you're just working your way across the land, raiding. Those ones at the very top are you're obviously hardest to get to just because you have land travel and you go into the little rivers and stuff. But um, the game ends when there's either only one fortress left that hasn't been done, all the Valkyries on the board have been removed, or all offerings have been made and players tally their scores. So it's like that's kind of your end game for it. The catch of this game obviously is the main mechanism of the worker placement where you're dropping and picking up such. Um, and the expansions, Hall of Heroes and Fields of Fame, also add more stuff to it. Um, I finally got the playmat that has all that stuff on it. So you don't have like the little sideboards. It all just puts it all onto one playmat. You can play with it. Um, what I do like that very top one right there, the solo variant, that didn't really come to retail in the US. Like it was offered and you had to buy it from them. I think they're in Poland, I want to say, Garfield, somewhere over in Europe. But I had to buy it straight from them over there because it's just a deck
New
of cards.
Zealand.
New Zealand, okay. It's a new it's a deck of cards that runs an automa. Um that actually is a really good one. And that's so it may let you be able to play this game solo because he built solo into every game like after this. Like,
Yeah.
Architects, all those have a solo deal in them, but none of the ones prior did. And this is the one that he put one out for, and it actually plays really well. Um, but yeah, I mean this one it's so simple to set up and play, and it's an easy teach. Um, it's got great art. I love the Miko stuff with this. Um, and yeah, I mean
Cool.
it'll probably start leveling out around this area just because there are a lot more Euros that I tend to lean towards more now that are higher up on the list, but it's still a great one.
Nice. All right. And my last one for this segment was 18 last year and 67 the year before, so it fell 23 spots. Um, and that is mainly because I haven't played it because I finished Act 1 and I'm waiting for Act 2 and 3, and that is Madara. So Madara is a very interesting game because it's one that I absolutely love the story, and it's the epitome of like the best kind of character build game, in my opinion, for campaign games. but its dice system and its bosses are so bad. Well, the dice system isn't bad, it just starts to wear on me after a while. The bosses in this game are very bad, but it's so funny as I talk and play more and more campaign games, I always come back and compare them to this one.
Right.
Just because this game does so many things right. If you like, JRPG anime style, themed games, it is very much leans into that. I mean, like the characters are very like over the top anime. This is Nightingale. That's the main character. The world is over the top and fantastical, but it's awesome. But the way that they run their enemies is also very clean, and the actual dungeon crawl element is very good. But really, why I love this game is the story and just the sheer amount of items and uh ways to actually build your character. There's nothing out there that really even comes close to this. Because not only do you have different weapons, you can have different relics, you can have different armor, you can have different upgrades, then you can have your oh, what do they call it? It is your different disciplines, and there's like tons of different schools that you'll level up. Then you'll have all these different one-shot consumables, like, and the characters. I mean, there's nothing but your imagination on how you want to build them out. Like, it's it's just so cool to and you can respec super easily to be like, okay, this build isn't working out. Let's try this, or let me see if I can refine it to get better. Or as you go into a new tier of items, it's like, oh, okay, now I can. There's a better item that's going to work better for me. So it's just so, so cool. They do a really cool job of with the book, uh, of keeping secrets that you might come across because there are like these tokens, like this token right here is one of those things that if your character becomes in line of sight of it, you then will trigger it, and then you'll go into the book to see what you see. And most likely it spawns enemies and shit. But the it's a phenomenal campaign style game, and just waiting on Acts 2 and 3 to find that to finish out the overall story. But this is one of the few narrative campaign games that I've actually talked about the story with my friend that I was playing it with, and we were trying to be like, oh, who's your favorite character? Who's like, what do you think's gonna happen? Which is stuff you would do if you were watching an anime with someone
Right.
and be like, oh, who's your favorite character? Things like that. So the writing is superb for this one, and they're even going to get better voice acting. Not that the girl was bad by any means, but it's going to get more professional. But I think they're bringing her in to do the voices for, I think, Nightingale into Acts 2 and 3 audio narration. So very excited for that. It's yeah, it's an epic one that I think does a lot of things right, hence why I compare this to a lot of campaign games that come out, because every someone was like, I think when we were complaining about Primal or something, some campaign game, they're like, "So what's the gold standard of character builds for you in board gaming?" I'm like, "It's Madara. Like this is what I want every time I'm a campaign game comes out, and it's like you can build your characters. It's like, right, but can I, or can I have two items equipped and that's it, you know?
Right.
Can I
Right.
only bring one potion to a fight because I'm apparently it's too heavy for me or something? This one just gives the players creative freedom that I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So that is my 41.
There we
And
go.
that's the last one for this segment. We got four more to go, everyone, right? Yep.
Uh,
Three.
yes.
No, yeah,
No,
because I was 41.
four more.
40 to 30, 30 to 20, 20. Yep, we got four more
That's how
left
math
to do.
works.
That is how that works. Uh, so I hope you're all enjoying. Stick around for the rest of the top 100. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.